First of all, thanks for being here in my YouTube channel. So in this lesson number 4, we are going to solve a quadratic equation that is based on square root. So friends, don't forget to watch all my previous lesson. Only if you watch my previous lesson, you can able to understand this concept. So lesson number 1, that is basics of equation. Then lesson number 2 is type number 1 quadratic equation. Then lesson number 3 is type number 2 quadratic equation. So now we are going to solve lesson number 4, that is quadratic equation, where some constant will be in terms of root, right? Root 2, root 3, like that. But the concept is same, but you need to follow some techniques here to find the factors of this question. So let me move on to all the interesting questions in lesson number 4. Question number 1. So x square minus 8 root 3x plus 45 is equal to 0. So friends, the given equation is a quadratic equation because equation contains x square, x and a constant. Similarly, the second equation is also a quadratic equation because equation contains y square, y and a constant. So friends, the difference between the previous lesson and this lesson number 4 is, in the previous lesson where the constant will be like 9x, 36x, like that, but here the constant in terms of root of something, 8 root 3, 4 root 3, 6 root 3. By following a simple technique, you can easily find the factors for these types of quadratic equation. So listen the concept carefully how I am solving. So apply the concept for all the question like this, you will be easily getting an answer, right? So let me move on to question number 1, friends. So x square minus 8 root 3x plus 45 is equal to 0, and before x square there is no constant. So according to lesson number 2, before x square if there is no constant, we used to concentrate on this number, that is plus 45. So friends, the two number that we are going to multiply, the resultant should be 45. Friends, listen carefully. The two number that we are going to multiply, the resultant should be 45. When we add two numbers, the resultant should be minus 8 root 3. Okay? So we need to find what is the factor for this given equation. So friends, step number 1 is, it is not a normal procedure, it is a shortcut, right? So step number 1 is, so friends, first of all, see this number, here it is 8 root 3. First of all, concentrate the second value, it is root 3, right? So write root 3 here and root 3 here. So friends, this is step number 1, right? So here it is root 3, so write root 3 and root 3. So friends, when we multiply root 3 into root 3, the resultant will be 3. So friends, listen carefully. Root 3 into root 3, the resultant will be 3. But our target to bring 45. So the number that we are going to multiply with 3, the resultant should be 45. So we need to find what is the number, right? So 15 into 3 will be 45. The resultant we need to, when we multiply both the numbers, our target to bring 45, right? So root 3 into root 3 will be 3. So the number that we are going to multiply with 3, the resultant should be 45. So finally we can say that this question mark will be 15 because 15 into 3 will be 45. Now split this 15 in order to get minus 8. So we can say that 5 into 3 will be 15. So minus 5 and minus 3. Why? Because here it is minus 8. So finally I can write this as minus 5 root 3 and the second thing is minus 3 root 3. So finally we got the factors, that is 5 root 3 and 3 root 3. Friends, got the point? If you need to check whether, some students will confuse whether this is a right or wrong. If you think like that, just multiply both the numbers. When we multiply both the numbers, our answer should be plus 45, right? So friends, 5 into 3 will be 15. Root 3 into root 3 will be 3. So 15 into 3 will be 45. When we add both the numbers, minus 5 root 3 minus 3 root 3. So when we add both the numbers, the resultant will be minus 8 root 3. So finally we got an answer. Value of x1 is equals to, so friends, here it is minus 5 root 3. But while writing, you need to change the sign as plus 5 root 3. Then x2. Here it is minus 3 root 3. So while writing, it should be plus 3 root 3. So finally we found the factors for the x term, that is 5 root 3 and 3 root 3. So this is the concept to find the factors for this question. So initially you need to concentrate on this number, that is minus 8 root 3. So first of all, write root 3 here. So root 3 into root 3 will be 3. So 3 with the number that we are going to multiply, the resultant should be 45. So only way 3 into 15 will be 45. Now split this 15 as 5 into 3. Our target to get minus 8. So this 15 can be written as minus 5 and minus 3. So finally we got a factor, that is minus 5 root 3 minus 3 root 3. But while writing, you need to change the sign as plus 5 root 3 and plus 3 root 3. I think everyone knows what is the value of root 3, right? Root 3 will be 1.732. Root 2 will be 1.414, right? So let me move on to the second expression, friends. Y square minus root 2y minus 24 is equal to 0. So the meaning is, before root 2 it is 1, right? So constant will be 1. So y square minus root 2y minus 24 is equal to 0. Before y square there is no constant, so according to lesson number 2 we need to concentrate on this number, that is minus 24. The two number that we are going to multiply, the resultant should be minus 24, but when we add two numbers the resultant should be minus root 2y. So friends, similarly we have placed root 3 only by seeing a coefficient of x, and similarly here the coefficient of y will be root 2. So first of all place root 2 here and root 2. So friends, root 2 into root 2 will be 2. So the number that we are going to multiply with 2, the resultant should be 24. So friends, listen carefully, most important, the number that we are going to multiply with 2, the resultant should be 24. So we can say that 12 into 2 will be 24. Now split this 12 in order to bring minus 1. So this 12 can be written as 4 into 3. So our target to bring minus 1, so minus 4 plus 3. So friends, listen here, I am just going to write minus 4 root 2 plus 3 root 2. That's it. We got a factor as minus 4 root 2 and plus 3 root 2. When we multiply both the numbers, if you want to check the answer, you can check it, right? Minus 4 root 2 plus 3 root 2. When we multiply both the numbers, 4 into 3 will be 12. Root 2 into root 2 will be 2. 12 into 2 will be 24. Minus into plus will be minus. So we got an answer that is minus 24. When we add both the numbers, our target to get minus root 2y. Just add both the numbers. Minus 4 root 2 plus 3 root 2. The final answer will be minus root 2. So finally we got a factors that is y1. y1 is equal to, here it is minus 4 root 2, but while writing change the sign as plus 4 root 2. Next is y2. Here it is plus 3 root 2, while writing minus 3 root 2. So finally we got the factors for x and y. Now we need to compare this and we need to say what is the relationship between x and y. So friends, listen carefully. First of all, root 3 will be 1.7 and root 2 will be 1.4, right? The concept behind this, we need to compare all the x value with the y value. So friends, don't forget to watch my lesson number 2 because we have solved many different questions how to compare this. So friends, first of all, x1 will be 5 root 3, x1 5 root 3, x2 will be 3 root 3 and 3 root 3. Next is y1. So y1 will be 4 root 2 minus 3 root 2, 4 root 2 minus 3 root 2. Friends, the concept behind this, we need to compare all the x value with the y value, right? So I can rub this. Okay. So friends, listen here friends, here it is 5 root 3, here it is minus 3 root 3. Definitely positive will be greater than. And similarly here 3 root 3 minus 3 root 2, again positive is greater than. So friends, here it is 5 root 3 and 4 root 2. We know that 5 root 3 can be taken as 5 into 1.7. Root 3 will be 1.732. Let me take it as 1.7. And root 2 will be 1.414. So assume this as 1.4. So friends, when we multiply this, 7 5s are 35, 8.5. When we multiply this, resultant will be 5.6. 8.5, 5.6, 8.5 will be greater than. So we can say that here x is greater than. So friends, listen here. Here it is 3 root 3 and here it is 4 root 2. So 3 root 3. So 3 into 1.7. Next is 4 root 2. 4 into 1.4. So friends, when you multiply this, the resultant will be 5.1. When you multiply this, the resultant will be 5.6. Here we can say that 5.6 is greater than, so 4 is greater than. While comparing, repeatedly I am saying this concept, while comparing, if you find 1 less than and 1 greater than, definitely the relationship between x and y cannot be established. We can't able to say what is the relationship for x and y. So finally we got an answer for question number 1, that is relationship for x and y cannot be determined. Question number 2. So x square minus 7 root 2x plus 24 is equal to 0. So the given expression is a quadratic equation. Again the second expression is also a quadratic equation, but the quadratic equation that is based on square root. So friends, before x square there is no constant. So according to lesson number 2, initially we used to concentrate on this number, that is plus 24. So friends, the technique number 1 is, before that is coefficient of x, we have 7 root 2. First of all, write root 2 here, right? So root 2 into root 2 will be 2. So the number that we are going to multiply with 2, the resultant should be plus 24. So we can easily say 12 into 2 will be 24. Now split this 12 in order to get minus 7, right? So I think 4 3s are 12. So 4 into 3, but our target to bring minus 7. So minus 4 minus 3. So we can write this as minus 4 root 2 and minus 3 root 2. That's it. So finally we found the factor, that is minus 4 root 2 minus 3 root 2. So friends, if you want to check whether we have obtained the answer correctly or not, just multiply and see. Minus into minus will be plus. 4 into 3 will be 12, root 2 into root 2 will be 2, 12 into 2 will be 24. So finally while multiplying both the numbers, the resultant will be plus 24. But when we add both the numbers, the resultant should be minus 7 root 2. Similarly, minus 4 minus 3 will be minus 7, root 2 will be 2. So finally this can be taken as minus 7 root 2. So finally we got a factor that is x1. Here it is minus 4 root 2. But while writing, change the sign as plus 4 root 2. And x2, so here it is minus 3 root 2, but while writing, change the sign as plus 3 root 2. So finally we got the factors for x term. So let me move on to the second expression, that is y. So y square minus 5 root y plus 12 is equal to 0. So again, before y square there is no constant. So according to lesson number 2, we need to concentrate on plus 12. So friends, listen here. Here we have concentrated the coefficient of x. Similarly, here concentrate coefficient of y. So coefficient of y will be root 2. So root 2. So friends, root 2 into root 2 will be 2. So the number that we are going to multiply with 2, the resultant should be 12, right? So I think 6 into 2 will be 12. Now split the 6 in order to get minus 5. So I think we can write this as 3 into 2, because 3 into 2 will be 6, but our target to bring minus 5. So minus 3 minus 2. So finally minus 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2. So friends, finally we got the factor that is minus 3 root 2 and minus 2 root 2. When we multiply both the numbers, 3 into 2 will be 6. Root 2 into root 2 will be 2. 6 into 2 will be 12. Then minus into minus will be plus. So finally, while multiplying both the numbers, the resultant answer will be 12. When we add both the numbers, the resultant will be minus 5 root 2. So we got a factor that is y1. So here it is minus 3 root 2, but while writing, change the sign as plus 3 root 2. Here it is minus 2 root 2. So write this as plus 2 root 2. So finally, we got the factors of y, that is plus 3 root 2 and plus 2 root 2. Now we need to compare this. The meaning of comparison is we need to compare all the x value with the y value, right? So by keeping x1 as constant, so friends, listen here, root 2 will be 1.4 and similarly root 2 will be 1.414. Just assume as 1.4, that is enough. So 4 into 1.4, so 4 into 1.4, x value, then x2, 3 into 1.4, then 3 into 1.4. So we are going to compare the x value with all the y values, right? So y1 will be 3 into 1.4, y2 will be 2 into 1.4, so 3 into 1.4, then 2 into 1.4. So friends, here it is 4 into 1.4, here it is 3 into 1.4, definitely this will be greater than. Again 4, here it is 2, 4 is greater than, here it is 3 and here it is 3, definitely it will be equal, because 3 into 1.4, 3 into 1.4 will be equal, and 3 into 1.4, 2 into 1.4, so this will be greater than. So finally, by comparing all the x value with the y value, in 3 cases x is greater than y, and in 1 case x is equal to y. So finally the answer will be x greater than or equal to y. So friends, we got an answer for question number 2, that is x and y relationship is x greater than or equal to y. Question number 3. So x square minus 7 root 3x plus 36 is equal to 0. Then both the given equation is a quadratic equation, but the quadratic equation that is based on root. And here in the first expression, before x square there is no constant, so initially we need to concentrate this number 36. So friends, apply the same technique that we followed in the previous question. So here, that is coefficient of x will be 7 root 3, that is minus 7 root 3. So first of all, concentrate this number, that is root 3. So write root 3 here. So root 3 into root 3 will be 3. So the number that we are going to multiply with 3, the resultant should be plus 36. So we can easily say the question mark should be 12, because 12 into 3 should be 36. Now split this 12 in order to bring minus 7. So we can easily write this as 4 and 3, because 4 into 3 will be 12. When we add both the numbers, the resultant should be minus 7. So minus 4 and minus 3. So finally we can write this as minus 4 root 3 and minus 3 root 3. If you have any doubt after finding the factors, if you want to check, you can check it, because when you multiply both the numbers, the resultant should be plus 36. Listen here, minus into minus will be plus. 4 into 3 will be 12, root 3 will be 3, 12 into 3 will be 36. When we add both the numbers, the resultant should be minus 7 root 3, because minus 4 root 3, minus 3 root 3. So when we add both the numbers, the resultant will be 7 root 3. So finally we got a factor that is x1. Here it is minus 4 root 3, but while writing plus 4 root 3, x2. So here it is minus 3 root 3, but while writing it should be plus 3 root 3. So finally we got a factor that is x1 4 root 3, x2 will be 3 root 3. So let me move on to the second expression, that is y square minus 12 root y plus 70 is equal to 0. So before y square there is no constant. So first of all, concentrate on this number 70. So similar to this case, here we have concentrated the coefficient of x. Similarly, concentrate the coefficient of y. So here it is root 2. So root 2, root 2. Root 2 into root 2 will be 2. So the number that we are going to multiply with 2, the resultant should be 70, right? So we can easily guess the question mark should be 35, because 35 into 2 will be 70. Now split this 35 in order to get minus 12. So I think 7 5 is 35. Friends, listen here. 7 into 5 will be 35. But our target to get minus 12. So minus 7 and minus 5. Because when we add both the numbers, minus 7 and minus 5, the resultant will be minus 12. So finally we got a factor that is minus 7 root 2 and minus 5 root 2. If you want, you can check this, right? So minus into minus will be plus. 7 into 5 will be 35, root 2 into root 2 will be 2, 35 into 2 will be 70. So finally we got, when we multiply both the numbers, the resultant will be plus 70. When we add both the numbers, the resultant will be minus 12 root 2. So finally we got a factor that is y1. Here it is minus 7 root 2, but while writing plus 7 root 2. Then y2. Here it is minus 5 root 2, but while writing it should be plus 5 root 2. So finally we got a factors for x and also y. Now we need to compare this. So x1 will be 4 root 3. So root 3 can be taken as 1.7, right? 1.7. Similarly 4 into 1.7. So 3 into 1.7, 3 into 1.7. So friends, many times I am repeatedly saying this concept, comparison is most important. The meaning of comparison is we need to compare all the x value with the y value. So concept is important. So after finding the factors, most of the students will make a mistake while comparing. So understand the comparison logic clearly. The meaning of comparison is we need to compare all the x value with the y value. That is x1 with y1 and x2 with y2. Similarly x2 with y1 and x2 with y2. That is the concept, right? We need to compare all the x value with y value. So friends, here both x1 and y1 will be 7 root 2, right? So I can rub this. So root 2 will be 1.4, then second will be 5 into 1.4, then 7 into 1.4, then 5 into 1.4. So friends, listen to the concept: x1 y1, x1 y2, x2 y1, x2 y2, right? I'm just going to compare all the x value with the y value. So 4 into 1.7, here it is 7 into 1.4, so definitely 7 into 1.4 will be greater than. And here it is 4 into 1.7, 5 into 1.4, so 5 into 1.4 will be greater than. So here 7 and here 3, 7 is greater than. So here 3 into 1.7, that is 5.1, and here 5 into 1.4, definitely 5.5 into 1.4 will be greater than. So finally, by comparing all the x value with the y value, in each case x is less than y. So finally we can say the answer for this question will be x less than y. Question number 4. So 5x square plus 4 root 10x plus 8 is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. Similarly, the second expression is also a quadratic equation. Friends, listen carefully. Even though it's a quadratic equation, but before x square we find a constant 5. So before x square, if there is any constant, then according to lesson number 3, first of all you need to multiply both the numbers. That is 8 into 5 will be 40. Now follow the technique that we apply in the previous question. So coefficient of x will be 4 root 10. So first of all write root 10 here. So root 10 into root 10 will be 10. So the number that we are going to multiply with 10, the resultant should be 40. So we can easily say the question mark should be 4, because 4 into 10 must be 40, right? And next thing, our target to get plus 4. So finally we can split this 4 as 2 into 2, because when we add both the numbers, the resultant will be 4. So finally we found the factors, that is 2 root 10 and 2 root 10. If you want to check, you can multiply both the numbers and check whether we are getting 40 or not. So 2 into 2 will be 4. Root 10 into root 10 will be 10. So 10 into 4 will be 40. So while adding both the numbers, the resultant should be 4 root 10. So 2 root 10 plus 2 root 10, the answer will be 4 root 10. But the important thing is, before x square we have a constant 5. So we need to divide this by 5. Similarly, divide this by 5. So finally we got a factors, that is x1. So here it is plus 2 root 10 by 5. So minus 2 root 10 by 5. While writing, you need to change the sign, x2. Here it is plus 2 root 10 by 5. While writing, minus 2 root 10 by 5. So finally we got a factors of x, that is minus 2 root 10 by 5. So let me move on to the second expression, that is 4 root 3 y square plus 5y minus 2 root 3. So again, similarly, the second equation is also a quadratic equation, but before y square we found a constant 4 root 3. So first of all we need to multiply 4 root 3 into 2 root 3. So friends, listen carefully. 4 root 3 into 2 root 3, right? So we need to multiply this. So first of all, 4 into 2 will be 8. Root 3 into root 3 will be 3. So 8 into 3 will be 24. So while multiplying 4 root 3 into 2 root 3, the resultant will be 24. But here it is minus. So minus 24. Now follow the same technique, right? So this 24 can be written as our target to bring plus 5. So we can do one thing, 8 3s are 24 and our target to bring plus 5. So plus 8 and minus 3. So when you multiply both the numbers, 8 into minus 3 will be minus 24. When we add both the numbers, the resultant will be 5. But before y square, we have a constant 4 root 3. So finally we need to divide this by 4 root 3 and divide this by 4 root 3. So I think we can cancel this on 4 table, friends. 1 4s are 4, 2 4s are 8. So finally this can be written as 2 divided by root 3. And listen here friends, here it is minus 3 by 4 root 3. We can write this 3 as root 3 root 3. So when we cancel 1 root 3, the final answer will be minus root 3 divided by 4. So friends, can you able to understand this? Right? I am just writing this step as this 3 can be written as root 3 into root 3, because root 3 into root 3 will be 3 and the denominator will be 4 root 3. Here we can cancel root 3 and root 3. So finally this expression might becomes minus root 3 divided by 4. While writing, you need to change the sign. That is important, right? So here it is plus 2 by root 3, but while writing it is minus 2 by root 3. So y2. So here it is plus root 3 by 4, but while writing, here it is minus root 3 by 4, but while writing you need to change the sign. So friends, now we need to compare x and y value and we need to say what is the relationship between x and y. So friends, here both the x values are same. So let me do one thing, keep it as minus 2 root 10 by 5. So by using only one x value, I am just going to compare both the y values. So y value, first y value will be minus 2 divided by root 3 and second 2 root 10 divided by 5 and the second y value will be root 3 divided by 4. So friends, here it is easy. Why? Because here it is minus and here it is plus. Definitely positive will be greater than. So next step is, here it is 2 root 10 by 5 and here it is minus 2 divided by root 3. Now we need to cross this, right? When you cross this, here it is minus 2. Root 10 can be approximately taken as 3 and root 3 can be approximately taken as 1.7 something, right? And here it is 5 into minus 2 will be minus 10. So friends, here it is minus 10. So when you multiply this, 3 into 2 will be 6. 6 into 1.7 will be definitely more. So finally we can say that minus 10 is greater than. While comparing the x value with the y value, final answer will be x less than y or y greater than x. So friends, finally we got an answer for question number 4, that is x less than y. The last fifth question in lesson number 4. So 63x minus 94 root x plus 35 is equal to 0. Then 32y minus 52 root y plus 21 is equal to 0. So friends, first of all, if you find an equation like this, your step number 1 is you need to convert this equation into a proper quadratic equation. That is your first step. In previous case, we will be finding x square here, x here and a constant. If the equation contains x square, x and a constant, we used to say this equation as a quadratic equation. But here it has an x and a constant, but this equation does not contain x square. So friends, first of all, I am going to convert this equation into a proper quadratic equation. Listen carefully. Here it is x, right? I am just going to write this x as a root of x the whole square, because root of x the whole square will be x. So this x can be written as root of x the whole square. So here it is minus 94 root x plus 35 is equal to 0. So finally we have converted the equation, that is given equation, into a proper quadratic equation. Just listen to the equation carefully. X square, x and a constant. But here there is no x square. So we have converted the equation into a proper quadratic equation. Now this becomes a quadratic equation as x square, x and a constant. Now apply the same logic that we used in the previous lesson number 2 and lesson number 3 to find the factors. So this is one of the interesting question, and also this is one of the different question that we seen in the recent competitive exams, right? So friends, here it is x square, x and a constant. So before root of x square, we have a constant 63. So according to lesson number 3, we need to multiply this 63 into 35. So 63 into 35. So friends, I think 63, 9 sevens are 63, right? And similarly 35. The same logic that we solved in lesson number 2 and 3. We apply a shortcut like this, right? So 35 will be 7 5s are 35. So friends, our target to get minus 94. So let me do one thing. 7 into 7 will be 49. So 9 into 5 will be 45. right? So when we add both the numbers, the resultant will be 94, but our target to bring minus 94. So this can be finally written as minus 49 and minus 45, and before root of x square we have a value 63, so divide by 63 and divide by 63. So friends, finally we got a factor that is minus 49 by 63 minus 45 by 63. I think while writing you need to change the sign. We got the value of x. So friends, listen carefully, here it is one of the most important step. In the previous question, here the question looks like 63 x square, x and a constant, but here the x is in terms of root of something. So you should write this equation as root of x1 is equals to 49 divided by 63. I think we can cancel this. When we cancel this on 7 table, 7 divided by 9. So finally root of x1 is equal to 7 divided by 9. Similarly, the next term is minus 45 by 63. So root of x2 is equal to, while writing, change the sign. So 45 divided by 63. I think we can cancel this on 9 table. When we cancel this on 9 table, 9 5s are 45, 9 7s are 63. So finally we got 5 by 7. So friends, the difference between the previous question and lesson number 1, 2 and 3 and this question is important. So why we are writing this as root of x is most important, because in previous question we used to write this as x1 and x2, but in this question we are writing this as root of x1 and root of x2. Why? Because in previous question, in the previous quadratic equation, the x value looks like x square and x and a constant, but here the x in terms of root of something. So you need to write this as root of x1 and root of x2. So friends, finally we got root of x1 is equal to 7 by 9. So x1 is equal to 7 square will be 49, 9 square will be 81. So finally we got the answer, x1 is equal to 49 by 81. Why? Because root of x1 will be 7 by 9. So x1 will be 7 square by 9 square, that is 49 divided by 81. So next is x2. So here it is root of x2 will be 5 by 7. So x2 will be 5 square by 7 square. 5 square will be 25, 7 square will be 49. So 25 divided by 49. So finally we got the factors of x term, that is 49 divided by 81, 25 divided by 49. And similarly we need to solve the second question. Listen carefully. First of all, if you see an equation like this, our only target is we need to convert this expression into a proper quadratic equation. Friends, the second equation is 32y minus 52 root y plus 21 is equal to 0. So friends, first of all we need to convert this equation into a proper quadratic equation, right? So we can write this y as 32 root of y the whole square, because root of y the whole square will be y, and here it is. That's it. So finally we have converted the given expression in terms of proper quadratic equation, because y square, y and a constant, right? So now similarly, before y square we have a constant 32, so we need to multiply 32 into 21. So our target to bring minus 52, right? So I think 82 can be written as 8 4s are 32, right? And 21, 7 3s are 21. But our target to bring minus 52. So I think 7 4s are 28, 8 3s are 24. So we can bring this. Listen here friends. So 7 into 4 will be 28, right? So 8 into 3 will be 24. So 28, 24, the resultant will be 52. But here it is minus 52. So finally this can be written as minus 28 and minus 24. But before root of y square we have a constant 32. So divide this by 32 and divide by 32. So this should be written as root of y1 is equals to, here it is minus 28 by 32. But while writing you need to change the sign as plus 28 divided by 32. I think we can cancel this on 4 table, right? When you cancel this on 4 table, so 7 4s are 28. When you cancel this on 4 table, 8 4s are 32. So finally y1 is equal to 7 divided by 8, then y2. So here it is 24 divided by 32. Again I think we can cancel this on 4 table, right? So when you cancel this on 4 table, 6 4s are 24, then 8 4s are 32. That is 6 divided by, so 6 4s are 24, 8 4s are 32. So 6 divided by 8. So friends, listen carefully. Root of y1 is equal to 7 by 8. So y1 is equal to 49. y1 is equal to, so 7 square will be 49, 8 square will be 64. Similarly, root of y2 will be 6 by 8. So y2 will be 6 square, that is 6 divided by 64. So finally y2 is equals to 36 divided by 64. So friends, finally we got the factors, that is y1 and y2, right? And also similarly x1 and x2. Now we need to compare both the x value and y value, and we need to say whether x is greater than or less than, and what is the relationship between x and y. So friends, let me do one thing. I can rub this, right, because there is no place to write. Okay friends, the value of x1 will be 49 divided by 81. So 49 divided by 81, so 49 divided by 81, then 25 divided by 49, then 25. So I think we can, y1 will be 49 divided by 64. Y2 will be 36 divided by 64. So again 49 divided by 64 and 36 divided by 64. So now we need to find this whether x is greater than or less than, right? So 49 into 64, 49 into 81. Just see the logic, right? 40 into 60, 40 into 80. So definitely 40 into 80 will be greater than, that y will be greater than. So the second number is 49 divided by 81, 36 divided by 64. So friends, listen here, 6 into 4 will be 24, right? So 8 into 3 will be approximate calculation. So 6 4s are 24, 8 3s are 24. But here it is 6 and here it is 1, but here it is 9 and here it is 4. So definitely x value will be greater than, because 49 into 64 will be higher when compared to 81 into 36. So just we don't want to calculate the remaining value. Why? Because we have got 1 less than and 1 greater than. So definitely we can say that the answer for this question, x and y, the value cannot be established. So friends, finally in this lesson number 4 we have solved 5 different questions that is based on quadratic equation based on root. So friends, try to practice more number of questions like this. Why? Because these are the new pattern question that we have seen in bank exam and also in some competitive exam and also IT sector interview aptitude questions. So try to practice more number of questions. If you practice more, then solving all the questions will be so simple. So thank you so much for watching this video. So kindly share this video to your friends so that your friends can also learn this.